Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Optibotimus coming to you with another video review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Combiner Wars Deluxe Class Swindle. A repaint and slight retool of Rook from the Protectobots. For the package, you can see that you do have the very nice comic book art here in the background. And then you got the open clamshell that shows the figure within. On the side here, you got a nice image of Bruticus. You can see that Swindle is number 4 or 5. And then obviously you got a product shot of the toy itself. On the back of the package, in true Scramble City fashion, you can see that Swindle can be an arm or a leg. And all 5 of them do combine to form Bruticus. And then up here it says Swindle is always looking to make a score. He'll cut a quick deal or pull a fast con, anything to bring in a profit. His wheeling and dealing isn't limited to gear and weapons. He'll sell out anyone, Autobot or Decepticons, for the right price. This guy's always kind of been just like a loner and basically just goes where the money is. So really very cool, but there is the packaging for the guy. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. Guys, so here we have Swindle opened up and out of his packaging. And as always, taking a look at the comic first, here on the cover you got a really cool image of Swindle on there. It does say that it's an exclusive IDW cover. When you do open it up, you can see that the inside tells us that this is from Transformers Combiner Wars number 4. Again, artwork wise, all really very cool. I do like this kind of group shot here on the very front. Hopefully I'm not spoiling anything. I think these comics have been out for some time, so if you're reading the comics, I don't think that you're spoiled by anything that I'll show you here, but you do got a really cool image of a beefed up looking Prowl. I really dig that. And then you come around here to the back page and you can see the sketch phase, gray model phase, also the finished product. Then you have a color code here as well as some sketches for the actual toy itself. On the back of the package, you got a bit of a read-up, which basically just talks about how nobody really trusts him, and that's just a character trait of Swindle throughout the years. So if this is something that you're interested in, go ahead and pause it. You can read it right now. As for the figure himself, honestly, this is probably my favorite of all the Combaticon Deluxe figures. And really, this is just a heavy retool of Rook from the Protectobots. We'll get into that here in a little bit, but you can see that he basically has a slight Jeep sort of look. I mean, it's a little bit more, I guess, detailed. There's a lot of detail in this. You can see little pouches right here along the side, some great molded detail along what would be, or what will become his arm. You got the front section here with some nice molded detail and a nice Decepticon logo there as well. Come around here to this side, you got another Decepticon logo that's on his shoulder. But really great detail. You can also take this, you can plug this, and the top, you got a little hole on the bottom here. You can put that there if you wanted to, or you could put that there if you wanted to. I think this works out actually best. You can take that, obviously, and you can put that there if you want to have it on the side, or I personally like having it right there in the very center. You have a extra hole there on the side there that you can do that with. You can put it on top. I think that looks a little bit silly, but I do really like this look for it. It just has a little bit more of that in a Swindle look. Now, for comparison, here's the G1 toy. I don't have his gun in there, but I also have some extra stickers on it, but you can see slightly different looking in terms of the coloring. Now, I do believe that that's just something that Hasbro and Takara probably will work out, where the Takara one will have this darker color. And they'll probably also give, Blast Off a different head, which a lot of people have complained about because he doesn't have the mouth plate. But I think that's something that Takara will probably do. But you can see that obviously size is a big difference, but it does look pretty good. I mean, this definitely has a Jeep kind of feel, and it nicely captures this overall kind of look. Now for another comparison, here's the mold that he's based off of, and obviously, it's a huge, heavy retool. You can see there's a big difference here. I mean, you got 3 tires, you only got, or I'm sorry, 6 tires, you only got 4 tires here. So, I mean, obviously, that's a huge difference. But transformation and everything's basically the same. You can, like I said, you can take this. That comes up, his arms tuck under there, and I'm just going to do it real quick just to show. I mean, it's the same basic principle that's going on here, but heavily retooled, and there's not a lot of parts on here that are actually the exact same. I mean, you come down to look at the legs are completely different. Obviously the sides are different here, the arms are different, the panels that make up his arms are completely different, the roof section completely different. Even actually this, I mean, they both have the holes here, but even this is molded differently. So it's a heavy remold. Now, to transform him into his limb configurations, first we're going to go to his leg, and that's primarily what I use Swindle for. So, really, this is really simple. You rotate that around, take this, you put that right back there. You can take, again, it's all personal preference. You can take that and you can have that be his leg, or if you wanted to, you can rotate it around. You can have that be his leg. It's personal preference. I mean, it doesn't really rotate back for this way. I mean, it really more or less is designed to rotate forward right here like this. So there's his leg. So incredibly simple, right? So to go to his arm, what you basically do is, well, we're going to detach this, lift that up. These are going to rotate out like so. Slide that into place. Make sure you get that slotted in there proper, and then put. Well, let me see. Hold on. Let me. No. Yeah. I'm sorry. Okay. Had to double check that. Make sure that's locked together, and then this. Again, it's personal preference on how you want to position this. You can just flop it there. Let's go here. Rotate that down. And then again, this folds around like so, and you plug that in just like that. And now you have his arm, specifically a right arm. You got the rotation right here, which gives him his shoulder. The elbow is made up of his hips and his knees, so you kind of get like a double hinge. You get the rotation right there. Obviously, this spins around. If you want it to be the other side, you just put that over there, spin that, put that there. It's really all you do. So you go from there to there. Yeah, so it's link configuration, you know, is all your personal preference. Like I said, I don't particularly use him as an arm. I like going with that full kind of G1 look. I mean, I don't like saying that I'm a G1er or G-winer, but I do prefer that look. It's just what I grew up with. But you can mix and match, and you can create whatever kind of configuration you specifically want. But there's his arm mode. But, I mean, we have seen it before, so I mean, I'm not going to focus too much on the transformation. It is the exact same sequence. Things look a little bit different because obviously he does look different. So first you're going to want to lift this up. You take this, you're going to swivel these out just like so. Split this, the legs come down, they tab into place along the side right there. Take this section, you fold this up. Again, all very exact same in terms of the sequence of transformation that we got with that rook. Rotate that around, and then you even bring his head. And the one thing that I'll say is about the head is this joint right here that swivels this up. Get it? Swivel? I'm so funny. You can keep that like that. This is really stiff, so when you're swiveling it back, the tendency is sometimes to pull his head off. So just be careful when you're doing it. So swivel that around, then bring this up, and that you can see that you got a little notch section right inside here that this kind of goes in, and it doesn't actually peg in, it just kind of sits in there. And then this, you got a little slot right here that this comes down and slots into just like so. But once you're done, there you have Swindle all transformed in his robot mode. And like I said, honestly, Swindle's probably my favorite of the deluxe figures that are in this new Combaticon wave. Now, as you can see, I mean, you do have the holes right here, so you can kind of recreate that old G1 kind of look where he's got a arm-mounted cannon. Unfortunately, you can't really put it on the front. That's typically where it is, but you could have him hold it there or something like that if you really wanted to. But I like that. I think that that's pretty cool. Now, ultimately, this mold, I think, was done for him, but also it has been shown that we are getting a Hound in this. So I think that the majority of the remolded parts for this is to kind of work with that Hound figure as well. Now, for comparison, here he is next to Rook, and you're seeing just a huge difference. Number one, he actually has hands as opposed to these goofy hand cannon looking things that just from the front just looks completely ridiculous. But you're seeing just how much on this is completely remolded. The only thing that I really see that hasn't been remolded would be this crotch section right here. That's the same. The thigh sections here, those are the same. And then the actual combiner port is the same. The wheels are the same too. So I guess I shouldn't say that all of them are redone. I guess when you look at it, these little bits right up in here, these are the same as that as well. So the overwhelming majority on here has been redone on this guy. So I'm really quite happy with it. And honestly, Rook is, I mean, like a character that I don't know anything about. I don't know even know if he's in the comic books, for example, so I could really care less about him. I'm really waiting for that Deluxe class groove to come out. So Rook is going to go the way of Alpha Bravo eventually, but here you have him next to his G1 self, and some of the color cues obviously are a little bit off on this. You do have a little bit more of this, the sticker for that came off. You do have a little bit more of that kind of look where it's like side by side, because that's where his head comes down for the combiner sort of thing, so it splits it up, and it's split up right there, so I can see that working pretty decently. Now, it doesn't have that full-on cartoon look, but I think it looks good nonetheless. But like I said, I mean, molding wise, it looks really great. It works obviously, but this is what we're going to have to look forward to with Hound, I believe. I don't think that they're going to remold anything. Obviously, I think they'll probably give him a different head, but everything else is pretty much going to be the same. Articulation is the same. You got the rotation on a ball joint here, ball joint for the shoulders. You got a hinge, well, actually, a little ratchet hinge right here. It rotates. He rotates at the hips, or the waist, the hips here on ball joints, and then they also rotate at the upper part of the thigh, bends here at the knee, and then according to Artimus Prime, you can't have a good figure without having ankle tilt, and this has ankle tilt, so I'm sure he'll be very happy with that. You got a really nice Decepticon logo right there, which you could see in the actual robot mode as well, or vehicle mode as well. So all in all, really nice figure. I do like him. Like I said, I think that he's probably my favorite of the new Deluxe figures. With Vortex and Blastoff, they're just repaints. Brawl would probably be, you know, my absolute favorite if it was just either done properly in terms of being designed right, or if it is a factory defect, which I don't necessarily subscribe to that theory. Either way, it's just a fail on Hasbro for me, but this one comes across very nicely, and I think that his leg mode looks really good. Everything on it just is a win, if you ask me. So to transform him back, we're going to remove that, straighten this up, kind of pull this away from the body just like so. You're going to rotate his head, and then that's going to come up and tuck right behind there just like so. You bring these around, again, get this out of the way, and then spin this around like so. And then what you have here is, unlike Rook, where there was actually like a section right here that you tab this into, you got the little tab right here, and it's kind of hard to see, but you just bring this down right up in here, and it just kind of frictions on the outside of that. Hopefully you could see that. I'll use the circle of zoom so that you can hopefully see it better. But again, doing it there, and then you bring that down, and that kind of slots into place right inside there, just like that. Then you take these legs, split them up, bring them up like so, split, accordion up like that, bring the two halves together, give them a nice little push, give that a little push, fold this up. Well, I guess I could have folded it up while it was not attached, but fold it up just like so, and then you bring this down, and then you got two little round sections right here that these tabs will come in, and you kind of have to fiddle with it to get them to line up properly, but you just push down, puts it perfectly, and then again you can take this guy, and I like doing this. I think that looks really cool. Definitely gives a very Humvee Jeep kind of look to it, and just fits with the overall Swindle character. But there you have him back in the Jeep mode. But all in all, like I said, I do think that this is probably my favorite of the new Deluxe figures. I just think vehicle mode, it comes across very nicely. Robot mode looks really good. The transformation, whilst basically just a remold, and I guess, I don't want to say reshell, I mean, I guess you could say that, of Rook, it actually is a pretty good transformation. I think that it comes together fairly nicely on this guy. I just think that this is a really solid figure. But that's about it for this guy, so if this is a figure that you guys are interested in picking up, him and the rest of the Combaticons should be hitting retail fairly soon. Or as always, here in the United States, you can pick him up at Big Bad Toy Store, or over in the UK, you can get him at Kapow Toys. So all you have to do is click on the links down in the video description. In the US, you'll go to BBTS, and in the UK, you can go to Kapow Toys, where you can check out availability on this guy, as well as the rest of the Combiner War figures. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus, and until next time, I'll talk to you later.